What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another new Comic Haul edition of Behind the Scene Podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts in the usual episodes, Deon, Donovan, writer and creator. You can find my work on Title Page Comics, and you can find my written work on Substack with Fandom in the Water. And I just want to showcase you guys my comic haul from this past weekend. Just a little bit of an insight to what I look for at comic shops and what garnered my attention. So here we go. So this one was kind of interesting to me. Swamp Dogg's House of Crows. It's a very, you can just tell from the cover, it's a cheesecake kind of horror title, and the cover art immediately grasped me. I like the layout, the orange. You see sort of like, looks like almost like a hoodoo kind of person right here, and a zombie. And the issue starts off with Confederate soldiers in the swamp in New Orleans. And so you already kind of know where it's going. So it's a very kind of a pulp culture-y, horror, grindhouse kind of feel with the title. And you can, yeah, she's totally grabbing her ass right there. So you already know what to expect with this kind of title. And then it pretty much, from the little bit I read, definitely delivers on an aspect. So probably pick up at issue number 2. Next up, my fellow co-host D. Smith actually recommended this one to me, and that is Monkey Meat. And I've heard some very colorful things about this title, and I definitely want to check it out because the art looks very interesting. Image is publishing this, and it's very like that satire, over the top kind of humor. Very interesting art style and character designs, and I think, hey, why not check it out? So maybe doing a review on this very, very, very soon. And next up we have the Marvel Voices, of course, for Black History Month, February. Just Marvel's pretty much showcase of all their black artists and black writers, their talent. I'm not sure what, this variant just was cool. You know what I'm saying? You got Shuri, and you got T'Challa on there, and everyone else. It's I like the cover, so I don't really know too much about exactly who's featured in here per se, and exactly the storyline. So I was just interested for support. It's kind of like Marvel's best of the best, you know, in terms of their creators of color and their workers and their artists. So had to give this a buy just to support. So hopefully some of these stores turn out to be good. Next up, the Electric Black Dark Caravan. This cover by itself just was like, whoa. And I've never really heard of Black Caravan before. So they did also the Swamp Dogs as well. So this is kind of like a new horror publisher, and so far it looks pretty good. I like their art style, and I like the presentation, the paper quality, the look and feel of the book. It's very, very nice, very well done. So I haven't opened this one yet, so this one I think it might be a little bit more interesting. So, and I heard good things about this one. New Masters in Image Comics, just a nice kind of Afro-futuristic style in the vein of Star Wars and a lot of these other sci-fi titles. Just I've heard very positive, great things about this book. I think Africa is on the come up when it comes to comic books right now. If you noticed, just Unique Studios with Dark Horse, and Image has been publishing some more work from them as well. So I think that's big ups. You get some comics basically presenting the mainstream from the motherland. So that's what's up. Plus the underground as well, Eton Comics, and of course, O Kingdom Come, and J Empire Studios, my boy Joseph Ngozi. Whenever he posts Black Cock in this Facebook groups, man, it's always a trip. So yeah, man, African comics is on the come up for sure. And this one piqued my interest. I don't even know if this character, I never heard this before, Cloaked. I saw issue 4, I flipped through it, I'm like, look kind of intriguing, like this political, urban vigilante type, you know, it looked, I'll be honest with you, I was like, I don't want to buy number 4, let me go start from number 1. Luckily they had number 1 at the shop I was at, so, I mean, come on, you look at the character, you already know, man, this is kind of like that political edgelord kind of urban vigilante type joint. I saw like an election was happening, he was shooting somebody at the election. at like a bait or something. So I don't know what the hell's going on in this book, but I was like, I gotta snag this just to make sure that I'm not missing anything decent. So Cloaked by Dark Horse might be a sleeper title. I don't know. We'll find out. This one to me was a no-brainer. I'm a big time kaiju fan. I love tokusatsu, I love Godzilla, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Gridman, all that, right? Kamen Rider, all these guys. And I mean, for $5, Scout Comics is killing it with like, for $5, there's so many pages and the art style is phenomenal. It's so crazy. It's like, this is a love letter to literally the whole kaiju tokusatsu genre right here. The cover by itself, the pink, the blue, I don't know who the artist is, I don't know who the writer is. This is just a fun ride. I don't know the story, like, the story can be whatever. This is just literally just a pure visual treat for anybody. Highly recommend this for any Godzilla fan, any kaiju fan. This book just immediately grabbed my attention. $5 for a lot of content in this. And like, come on, man. Like, if you watch Godzilla, you gotta snag this. If you like any kind of kaiju joint, you gotta snag this. This is just pure fun. And last but not least is The Rise of Jin, which is by Kevin Greavy, who's one of the creators and writers in the industry that I really look forward to, look up to, inspired to be. He's currently writing Bass Reeves. I'm not sure if you've seen it at Walmart. They don't really do a good job of presenting those comics from that label, but he's a phenomenal writer. He created Blue Marvel. He does a lot of great things on print and on just film industries in general. So I missed out on issue number 1. I only had issue 2, so I'll just probably go back and recollect it all, I guess, in a sense. So I think this is a variant cover too, so I was like, yeah, let me snag this. So out of all the books I got, only one was basically like a superhero title, and so I'm a big time superhero fan, and I think that for a lot of us, just if you're looking for something that's gonna grab your attention, just try to look outside the superhero genre. There's horror, there's mystery, there's crime noir. As I grow as a person and get older, the capes and cowl stuff is cool. It's a little bit slacking right now in my opinion, but there's definitely titles out there. There's comics for everybody. You just really need to find a book that really gets your interest, whether it be a story or a character design or whatnot. And I don't think comics is dead. I don't think that things aren't like the same. I mean, things aren't the same as they used to be, but I definitely feel like there's definitely content out there. There's great comics out there. You just have to go and find it. It may not be from your regular comic book company like Marvel, DC. They might have some sleeper hits, but if you go dig deep enough, you'll definitely find something that you're gonna enjoy and love to read. So I just gotta give a big shout out to Black Comic Lords with Richard Wright and Paul Davis and Herschel Lewis and the rest of the admins over there, because it kind of really, in 2020, really just started to change my perspective as a, I'm not really a collector, but I wouldn't consider myself like this big time collector, but someone who just enjoys going to the shop and reading up storylines. It just really changed my perspective of what books to look for and kind of characters and storylines with basically my background in mind. You know what I'm saying? I've been a comic fan since I was a kid, and I guess was ignore certain stories. I wouldn't really look out for certain stories, and now I'm a little bit more aware of these types of stories being presented with a black perspective or a black character, and also just in general, like the group, Richard Wright, he's a great comic fan and just an OG in the game. So he put me on to a lot of titles like Something Nice Across the Lake, and just a lot of different titles. Like if you just want, if you just want stories, you just want what's the best comic book wise that'll grab your attention, I highly recommend checking out Black Comic Lords for the work that they're putting in and the way they're evolving and growing, showing more indie talent, supporting indie talent, like Scout Comics with Black Cotton and Concrete Comics and etc. Like, it's really the website they build. They've really established themselves as something in this circle that I really respect, and I applaud because, hey, my collecting has changed. The way I view stories has changed, and my knowledge of a lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of just people in the industry I'm more aware of just because of that group. So gotta give you guys your roses for that. So that's the end of my haul. You guys let me know what you guys been collecting, what you've been buying. Shout out to the Discord. Shout out for you guys for listening, and shout out for all the supporters out there for the Behind the Scene podcast. Shout out to the comic readers who are still going to the shops, still buying what they enjoy, and just trying to share the knowledge, share the love for this medium that I hope pretty much continues on our lifetime. Because as much attention as we give people who bitch and complain about comics and SJW or trying to dig too deep into some stuff, at the end of the day, it's all entertainment, folks. So I don't know, man. It is what it is. So with that, I'm out. Peace.